Hey guys, welcome.
Hello.
Apologies for the small delay, a little bit of a technical difficulty. No, nothing new. We go live, right? So hello,
I just put in the wrong stream key, but that's fixed now.
yeah, but in Mike's defense, I did hear him that he switched around, but apparently it just didn't go through, so that was all. So yeah, today you have me here, Ja, and we have Mike right here, or Michiel. Yeah, I just got back from my holidays last week, so I'm a little bit darker than usual. I'm usually already like the darkest in the team, but
You did some tanning on the beach
yeah, even more
with
dark.
a nice beer in your hand. I'm jealous.
A lot of beers and cocktails.
Oh,
Yeah, but yeah, I'm very happy to be back. Yeah, Monday I was back, and then Eric told me, "Hey, you got a live stream waiting for you on Wednesday." So I was like, "Yeah!" Very happy about that. Yeah, hi guys. Hey, hello. Happy that you stopped by. Okay, so today we will be talking about something else than our usual gaming topic. You can already see something that's white colored. Usually it's black when we have some gaming desktops laying around here. So none of that goodies today. We'll be talking about content creation today. Here I have a new content creator desktop, which we actually haven't officially launched yet. So, of course, you're getting a kind of a sneak peek once again with a very detailed look where you will not be finding on the internet. So yeah, we will have a lot of demonstration for you guys, more detailed features, explanations for this little beautiful guy right here. And of course, like usual, we'll tear it down all the way, strip it naked, show you all the inside, and really tell you what makes it tick. And of course, like always, if you have any questions, always drop them in the chat. We regularly, especially Michiel, while looking at the chat. So
I'll be reading.
If there's a question, we'll try our best. If
we're
it's
already
not
getting
too
love
crowded.
from Bangladesh. Love back.
yeah, hello back. So of course, Mr. Masterdox is here. Howdy. Yeah, so a lot of goodies, and if you want the best experience also for the live chat and the giveaway, we do recommend you to go to our YouTube channel or our Twitch channel. There you just have to type in MSI Gaming and you will find the live stream right there in our page. This is because we, of course, are streaming on multiple platforms, but we don't have, the chat function available on
Chat
every
already
platform.
noticed that I'm wearing the wig today.
Yeah, last time I had my hair
huh?
was different, and it really fitted very well with the helmet that Mike is wearing right now.
You lost quite a bit of hair.
Yeah,
compared to last time.
I switched my my barber. I switched it up, and this was the result. I came home, and my girlfriend didn't really recognize me, but shit happens.
So you did this after your holiday, right?
Actually, right before.
Oh, right before.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. She wanted me to
you
look
had
okay on the
a cool
pictures.
head during your holiday.
Yeah.
Always when I get a haircut, it feels like 10 degrees Celsius lower.
I fully understand that part.
So your question, will you pour water in to check the capacity? Not today.
Water. Well, somebody is a old client, I guess. A regular viewer. Good to know.
Yeah, we have done that in the past.
Let me put this line. Okay, well, you can still read it. Of course, per usual, we have a giveaway in our live stream, and today, once again, you can win one of the $20 US Steam wallet codes. So just go to msite.com/2/insider, and there, the more actions you perform, the more chances you will have at winning one of the codes today. And if you didn't win on the first few tries, don't worry, because we have multiple to give away, and you will still be in the drawing pool for the entirety of this live stream. So don't worry, you don't have to redo this action every time we announce a winner, because like I said, you're still in the drawing pool. And definitely make sure to check out our loyalty bonus, because we have had quite a few good experiences with you guys.
So if you're a returning visitor, make sure to claim that bonus. Because you'll have a slight edge in the giveaway.
And if the link here doesn't work for you and you don't want to type it yourself because you're lazy, well, we all understand, of course. We're gamers, right? And we also content creators. We don't have time for that. Just wait for the bot to drop the link in the chat for you, so you can click on that and register yourself.
That will only work on YouTube and Twitch, by the way.
Yes.
Then you can follow the direct link to the Gleam giveaway. Mark is asking, did you go on vacation without your girlfriend?
No, I wouldn't dare. It was with her, but she demanded that I cut my hair before the vacation because then I'll be, good looking on the pictures. Of course, you take a lot of pictures on your holidays, right? So that was the reason. I see Burak is asking, it's PC or game console? Well, buddy, it's definitely a PC, and well, you can game on it, but more on that later. But it's definitely a PC. It's a content creation PC, to be specific.
So it's not made for gaming, but you can actually game pretty damn well on it.
Yes. Well, let me just unveil, because actually I already saw someone in the chat saying like the design was very sleek. Well, guess you did some Googling, huh? You found some pictures online. So here we have the Creator P50 in our Creator lineup, which is our highest lineup or highest tier lineup in the content creation series. And let me just put it a little bit closer so you can see a little bit better. And yeah, as you can see, this is a all white, and well, if you are familiar with our previous series, well, this is actually the newest model and the newest in its series, but the previous one is our P100 series. Speaking of the P100, I do have it here, so just to refresh your memory and also to show you, some size differences. This is our P100.
Katarsis is asking, oh, he has the Creator P100X, and he's wondering if this is like the new version. Well, that's different.
It's a new edition in the Creator series, but it's not a newer version of the P100 because this is a different model. And
yeah, they exist next to each other. It's not like this one will replace the P100.
Definitely not. It's just an addition to the Creator lineup. Because if I get into the specifications later, you also understand why this is not a replacement. Because the P100X is really our highest end model in our entire Creator and content creation series. And the P50, as you can see, the size, it's also, not really comparable, right? Actually, if I just put it up here, that's really, because now they're like back to back. Yeah, so just to specify, no, it's not a replacement. It's an addition in the Creator lineup. Okay, so I already explained the Creator lineup. So if you got any questions regarding that, just let me know in the chat. Otherwise, I'm just going to continue. So this is our P100A, but the chassis, the desktop itself looks exactly the same as the P100X, which is the highest model available in our lineups. And this is the P100A. Also the black version, this one also comes in the white version, so milky white. And well, as we can see, there's quite some differences between these two, ID-wise, aesthetics, and also specification feature. They are also quite different. So, yeah, just really overall a nice addition for you guys who, that doesn't really require the most intensive machine for your workloads. You're not like, you just simply don't require that kind of processing power. Or, let's be honest, of course, these are also in two different price categories, as you can understand, because that works exactly as gaming desktops and hardware. The higher you go, of course, the more expensive it will get. So yeah, if you just want to have a really, really well-working, adequate, reliable, and efficient machine, which is still very, very powerful, because there is still a 11700 in this tiny case right here. That's what the P50 is meant for people that still want the power, still want the performance, but don't really require the highest performing machine desktop.
I see a question in chat. Nico Chen is asking, can this handle 4K 3D renders?
4K, yes, but 3D, less likely, because of course, it can handle it, but you're not going to have the best experience, because, like I said, this is not meant for such a high-end, heavy workload. For that, you need a higher hardware setup, especially in the GPU department. But yeah, if you're just doing some beginning work, some light work when it comes to 4K and 3D, definitely no problems. We'll get you started. You will get you can finish your projects. It's just that it's going to be, of course, slower than, for example, when you're working on the P100 series, which is higher skilled, because yeah, there's higher tier hardware in the P100 series, and this, like I said, is not meant for that category, that class.
VRK is asking, are both air-cooled?
Yes, both are air-cooled. And later, if you stick around, I will tear this open and you will see exactly how it's being cooled. And I also will take off the cooler for you to see how this all fits in such a tiny little case, because let me get into the size in more details. So,
where's your banana?
I ate it at lunch.
Oh, no banana for scale?
Not today. we just have to use my arm for scale. So really, to start off, because this is already a very small case, because Mike, you know, he loves this kind of sizes. And just to refresh your mind as to just how small it actually is, let me get the easiest Ti-5 on the table. It's gonna get in the way of Mike a little bit, but have to make do for now. This is a mid-tower size gaming desktop, so this is not like a full tower, okay? It may seem big besides these two, but that's just because these two are so small. So, okay, I think you've seen enough of the P100. Let me continue so you have a better idea, because mid-tower size, you know, these are more popular, more mainstream. You guys will know these kind of sizes better. And this is how it compares to a mid-tower size gaming desktop.
I see some questions in chat. What is the GPU? That depends on the SKU, but later on we'll go into more detail. And Anap's also asking, are there any power limits on the CPU? Yes. Of course, you're in a small form factor. So if you would fully unlock a processor of this generation, it would consume too much. You wouldn't be able to cool it in this size. So yes, it is. It has power limits for sure. You don't want to fry it. Can it run Crysis? Of course it can, easily. And Minesweeper as well.
Just a moment, when you know what kind of CPU is in here, you will understand, GPU, you understand why. It will definitely run Crysis, Minecraft, you name it.
Alex Loveflying is asking, will it support Windows 11?
Oh,
Yes,
already
for
getting
sure.
into a Windows 11, huh? I think we're actually going to do a live stream about that, right? Sometime in the future, in the near future.
For sure.
Okay, yeah. If there's more questions, just fire it my way. There's a foot that you can use, but you don't have to. But yeah, if you want to carry this around, very easy.
Anap says it's like a simplified PS5. What do you mean simplified? The PS5 is a simplified P50.
Yeah, so I think you guys got the gist, right? You got the idea. It's a really small and light desktop, but it still packs a lot of power. So you'll
Mr.
find out in just a
Mastodog says,
moment.
it does not just run Crysis, it can create a new Crysis.
See, he understands. That's what it's meant for you to create stuff, for you to, yeah, get creative and productive. So less gaming questions, guys. Of course, you can ask.
Ritesh is asking, which color space does it support? Well, that's dependent on the monitor you will attach to it.
Okay, so yeah, that was the size comparison, just to show you guys how small it is, and it's also really light. It's just a little bit over 6.5 kilograms. So yeah, you're gonna save plenty of room on your desktop, well, on your desk. Sorry, not desktop. And it's going to look very sleek, because now we're going to get into the aesthetics, the outside. I'm trying to show you guys like how it looks, and really here a little bit closer as well.
Can you quickly turn it around and give a sneak peek of the back? Or is it hidden in there? Oh, it's hidden in there. Because I saw a question in chat. Anna was asking, does it have Wi-Fi?
Oh,
Yes, it
yes,
does.
it
But
does.
the antenna is not on the back. It's integrated in the chassis.
All right, and let's see the details of the case a little bit more close.
It does, but the antenna is not on the back. I saw some more questions in chat, but this should
That's
answer
the
it
wrong
quite
one,
well.
Michiel. It's the wrong one.
The wrong one?
The bronze scene. It's we need a detail can.
Oh. Let people quickly take a look at this, because I see a lot of questions about
Lucky
the
you
specs.
guys. Now you can know all the specifications already.
Yeah.
Okay. In this.
So yeah, guys, screenshot quickly. Then I will switch to the other camera. There we go.
Well, Merrick, very attentive. It is definitely a Creator desktop with a Thunderbolt 4. You are correct.
So Glitch-Eye was asking, what's the RAM speed of this?
I think you just got a sneak peek of
Yeah,
that, right?
3200 megahertz.
All right. So the design of this thing is really very industrial and modern inspired, as you can see, with all these kind of patterns which you usually see, on Pinterest, on Instagram. People having this kind of patterns on their walls, which is very modern, industrial, and just overall very, trendy, I would say. And this is really what we also try to do here. So it will fit. It will really stand out and also fit in your lifestyle and on your desk. It's not just a box of machine. We're trying to tell a story here just by its looks. This, of course, a cutout with fan with dust protection filter, so that your hardware, in this case the GPU, can breathe properly. And here, somebody already mentioned Merrick. We have the Thunderbolt 4. Here we have on top more air intake. On the back, we have the audio jacks and the 2.5G LAN. Of course, also the Kensington lock, because you probably will take this around with you. If you're that kind of person. Whenever you're going to events or going to your office, you can actually take this to your office and workplaces as well. You have the ability to lock it up. And we also have here, which might be new for you guys, because this one, as you might have guessed from its look, since the motherboard is here and you see the GPU here, there isn't really space for an additional PSU, right? So this is the power connector for the AC adapter. That's why it looks so unfamiliar to you guys.
So it comes with a brick.
Yes.
Like you, for example, know from notebooks and stuff.
And here we have the vertically integrated GPU.
Arnav's asking, with power limits, is 330 watts enough for an 11700 and an RTX 3060? Yes, with power limits, it's enough.
So that's the case. If you have any questions, or you missed out on something, just let me know. I'll try to show you again, or if I went by something too quick. Otherwise, let me get to more specifications and features of what you can expect in this little sleek bad boy. Well, deja vu, because you guys already seen this, right? But if you just joined, or you were just taking a piss, you were snooping around for some snacks because you're trying to enjoy the show, here you have it again. Well, I'm not going to repeat everything on the table. You can read it yourself. What I really want to try to emphasize here is that since it's a Creator desktop, you of course already have a integrated M.2 SSD for that fast speed, and for storage of your content, of course, and saving your projects, you'll go a lot faster. And yeah, somebody also asked regarding the memory speed. Here, of course, in this current generation, 11th gen, we have upgraded the memory speed from 2666 to 3200 megahertz. So yeah, quite a step up. And especially with content creation, memory speed is going to be much more important than when it is for gaming. So here you really benefit a lot more from this kind of step up in the memory speed.
I saw a question before. Someone was asking about the details of the Wi-Fi and the Bluetooth. So it's Wi-Fi 6E, so that supports 2.4 gigahertz, 5 gigahertz, and 6 gigahertz. And it also supports Bluetooth 5.2.
Exactly.
Katazisk was also asking if it's just available in white or also in black.
Right now it's white, but wouldn't be surprised if a darker version comes out.
For the P100, we also started with just the white version, and
Yeah,
eventually we also made a black
We
version.
have
So
a dark gray.
definitely possible. Katazisk was also asking, is that a PS2 mouse port? No, that was the where you plug in a power brick. I think that's the connector you mean.
Yes. Yeah, well, now that he mentions it, it does kind of looks a little bit similar, yeah.
That's strange. Some people hear an echo. I'm going to see if I can solve that.
Okay, so Michiel is working on the echo problem. In the meanwhile, Bradley is asking YouTube, is it upgradable? Yes. And once I open this up, you also see what I mean. So even though everything is really well organized and you know there's much space, you can still upgrade when you feel like you need it in the future. Let me see something else. Big Make is asking about the price and where to get. Well, the price on the P50 starts at around, really I'm emphasizing on around $1,400 US or euros. Okay, so you know, every live stream we stress that the price is a very, very I wouldn't say a sensitive topic, but it's a hard fact to nail down because per region it's always going to differ, especially nowadays, you know, with Corona also adding up, you know, to the cost. So I'm really just trying to emphasize it's around 1,400. You know, region it can be more expensive. You know, it can be the case that it's not, but keep that in mind. This specific SKU model is 2000, so this is also the highest available configuration that I have right now in the P50 lineup, on the P50 configurations. Okay. Maro Diaz saying, have you considered an AMD version? Well, right now, I can tell you we don't have an AMD version, but I know we're planning a lot of stuff next year. There are going to be new models available, but you know, I'm not sure if there will be a AMD version, but we'll have to see. That's really all there is to say for this moment.
I think I know where the echo comes from.
Oh, what is it?
I think it's your notebook.
My notebook?
Yeah, somehow it's capturing audio.
Really? But I guess you disabled my sound on my notebook?
No, I have it on for the video later on.
But is it fixed?
Can you mute your microphone somehow on your notebook?
Yeah, I think it's already muted because my notebook microphone is always disabled because it makes a lot of noise when we have con calls, remember? So I always have it on mute. So let
it
me
always
just
sounds like there's a muscle car going through your street when we're in a call.
let me double check. Yes, my microphone is already disabled.
Interesting.
So what other source could be picking up our audio?
Okay, guys,
again,
let us know if
nice
this solves the echo. I think it does. I
some
just
live
muted it from
troubleshooting.
here.
Yeah, guys, let us know if the problem is solved. Otherwise, I'm just going to continue for now. Okay, so here you already are familiar with the specs. Let me just continue to a little bit more in depth regarding the CPU and the GPU. With the CPU here, compared to last gen, you do really have quite a big step up in performance. Compared to 10th gen Intel, of course, to its counterpart, so the 10700. And with the RTX here, we really bump up the performance to 3060. And here, of course, also really gotta make sure that you're using, you know, also for your own information, you're using RTX Studio instead of the game ready driver, because here you will really have a lot more consistency when it comes to, and also compatibility with the apps, because the Studio driver is more detailed. Well, it's more customized, and it's really much more capable of being more consistent with the apps that you're using. So there's less freezes. There's
I think I know where it comes from. Do you have the stream open in the background somewhere?
That is possible. Let me check.
There we go.
Should be gone now.
Okay, let me open it up again.
Yeah, it was still open from when I was checking if the stream was live.
Okay, now it should be solved, guys.
Are we back? And yeah, so Thunderbolt 4 we already mentioned, but if it's new for you, you know, you're getting into all of these kind of goodies, Thunderbolt 4, what can you expect? It's very versatile when it comes to you know, the connection, and it's also used as a display port, and you can also use it to, you know, transfer data. That's really where it starts to shine, with the data transfer speed, because here you have up to 40 gigabit per second of transfer speed. Now, if you're doing your backups for your files, your projects, you're moving content around, this is really going to give you the big bump with the speed, which of course would save you a lot of time, and there's less time for it to create any error.
Anirudh said it was already gone. Yeah, that's because I muted it on my end, but later on Ja also has a nice video for you to watch, so we needed to solve it anyway.
Arnab, yes, it's a power brick.
Yeah,
external.
It's indeed an external one. Can you maybe show it? The power brick?
David said, I thought it was a hangover. There we have it, the power brick.
So 330 watts.
And we know that since it's a power brick, you know, we really made sure that you will have the possibility to really move around, or, you know, if your power outlet is far away, the cable is really freaking long. It's like about, yeah, it's about 4 meters long. So you really have a lot of space to, place the power brick. If you don't want it to be, visible somewhere on your table, under your table, you can really make sure that you can hide it, because you have such a long cable that came with it, for as one of the purposes. And yeah, also Wi-Fi 6E and 5.G LAN. No, really not that much to talk about here, but you do definitely have these kind of features, especially with the 2.5G LAN. It's not a 1G, but 2.5. Much more bumped up speed when it comes to your data transfer to your NAS or making a backup. Yeah, you really have the freedom also, of course, when it comes to Wi-Fi, so you don't have to use the LAN all the time. If you chose to work mobile, choose to work on the couch, choose to work besides the TV, yeah, you can do so without dragging the cable along with you, because Wi-Fi 6E is also very fast. Now, especially nowadays with a lot of the people working from home, your neighbor, they're going to be more at home. There's going to be kids around making noises. There's construction work and blah blah blah. You name it. Especially if you're living in a busy city. In the P50, there is our AI sound software called MSI SoundTune. Well, later I'll show you where you can find this and how you can activate this. It's very user friendly.
Eric should install this on his system.
Yeah, or me, because my laptop, usually makes the turbo sound, right? So,
yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
But with Eric, when we're in a call, for example, and he's working from home, his kids are running around and destroying the house.
Yeah, crying.
So let's see if the SoundTune can handle Eric's kids. then it can handle anything.
Yeah, we did a detailed live stream about that. We demonstrated live on the live stream. That was very, very complicated to put together, but we did it.
With a vacuum cleaner as well, right?
We had a guitar, we had a vacuum cleaner, you know, there's tons of other noises, but we did that. It was last year, it was with the Asus TI5 live stream. If you're interested, you can look it up after the live stream. But yeah, so the MSI SoundTune, it's a AI software, and you know, its database has more than 500 million sound samples. So it really learns and really separates what's voice and what is noise. And it will intelligently just, you know, in real time filter out all the background noises. And the beauty of it is that it's not only for you know, what you hear, it's also for your outgoing audio. So if you are making a lot of noise because your friend is screaming in the background, or you know, your neighbor's baby is just keeps on crying, and you know, there's a loud noise outside of your window, your outgoing audio will also be filtered out through the software. So, you know, the party in front of you will also have no, well, let's say, sound complications from your side.
Merrick says, so Eric's kids inherited his passion for destruction. Yeah, there is no doubt that those are Eric's.
Yeah. You paid attention, Merrick, definitely.
Sean's asking, when is it out to buy?
Very, very, very soon. In just about like 2-3 weeks, it's going to be on the market, and then you can get your hands on one of these as well. So, yeah, just a little bit more patient.
On the picture, it looks like it has RGB.
It definitely has RGB. Just a moment, I'll show you how you can get to RGB and also how you can use SoundTune, because trust me, that feature really works so great. Yeah, but just a moment. And of course, with this kind of systems, you also, well, just to inform you, just to give you an idea of what you can expect, is that if we take a look at like some of the popular apps. Now, again, I want to stress that this is not a 3D animation machine, 3D rendering machine. This is not what it's meant for. It's the same with, you know, gaming desktops. We're not going to, you know, get a 10700 and a 3060 expecting you can play 1440p ultra wide at max settings and still have like 100 plus FPS with AAA title games. You know, that's not what it's meant for. So yeah, what this is meant for is really heavy video editing workloads. Yeah, you can still do animation, you can still do 3D work. Of course you can, but you know, we are just being transparent. But you shouldn't expect like a very smooth and fast real-time reactive experience when you're doing like heavy 3D animation and render work and stuff like that. But if you are a video editing guy and you want to get the most out of your machine for a bang, that's really what the P50 is for. You know, even on 4K. Yeah, so if we take a look at some of the popular apps like Adobe After Effects, you know, it's then if we compare this to, for example, like a similar system like a 10900K, which is like what's like Intel's Hero CPU in the previous generation, which still wasn't that long ago, it will outperform that in the P50 with our also with our software optimization. So yeah, and with Adobe After Effects Render, what you can expect if something similar like the Ryzen Threadripper, yeah, this will also outperform it by quite a margin. Yeah, but this just really goes to show you, what kind of effect, what kind of performance can you expect out of the P50. Even though it's really small, you might think that there are a lot of compromises, because hey, if it's so small, can it handle airflow? It's gonna throttle. No problem. Definitely no issues here. These are all tests using Puget Bench. So that's just let's say that Puget. If you don't know about Puget, Puget is kind of the worldwide leader when it comes to benchmarking and also showing different kind of performances between systems. And they are also a system integrator. They are basically really the star when it comes to content creation machines, desktops. So if you're interested after live stream, you should definitely check it out, because there are a lot of stuff on there that you can learn about, that you can enlighten yourself with, and just also look up benchmarks of different systems, hardware for different kind of softwares. It's all on there. Maybe before I continue to show you guys, what our video editors usually do their work, Jeroen and Robin in our team, actually they are working on this product video right here that we shot like a week and a half ago for the P50. If you're not familiar with our tasks here, let me just say in our team, we also make product videos, about 1 minute. In that 1 minute, we'll tell you all the features about the product, and also try to make the video, enjoyable for you to watch. For the P50, Jeroen, our colleague, he is actually working on the product video right now, and I'll show you in just a moment after the giveaway how his work looks like in After Effects, and what kind of stuff can you expect, and just how complicated it actually is. So stick around and let's see who our first winner is of today.
That's a very good idea. So if you haven't participated yet, go to msi.com/2/insider, or if you're watching on YouTube or Twitch, then you can also follow the direct link in the Gleam chat, or in the Twitch or YouTube chat, and that will take you to Gleam. So
all right, let's see
our first winner of today. Congratulations, DJ! You won our first $20 Steam wallet code.
Yeah,
Please keep an eye on our mailbox, so we will email it to you in the coming days.
Yeah,
and if you haven't participated yet, do so.
Congratulations, mate.
Catharsis was saying, okay, I do not understand this slide. It says P50 has a better score in a system with AMD Threadripper and RTX 3070. It really depends on the exact benchmark. Some benchmarks are very single-threaded focused, other are multi-threaded focused. Of course, if you have like a heavily multi-threaded task that also has a lot of benefit from, for example, quad-channel memory, then the Threadripper will definitely outperform the P50. It's really dependent on the exact type of workload, because, for example, the single-core performance on this one is really good. But yeah, it really depends on the workload you're using.
Annie Ruth is asking Cinebench points. Actually, I will do a live demonstration with Cinebench, so you can see the score for yourself in just a moment. Okay. All right. If nothing else, then I'm gonna continue. Okay. So I just mentioned Jeroen. He is actually our colleague. He's working on the product video for the P50 right now, and how his work process, workflow looks like is that there are a lot of stuff that I have to think about. Even though it's a 1 minute video, it's quite difficult to. It takes a lot of time, trust me, to finish the project. So of course, here you gotta think about what kind of music soundtrack you're using. You gotta make sure it fits properly with the video. You gotta tune it, as you can see here in the screenshot that he took. There are a lot of stuff that you have to take care of, take into account, and also know about. And besides sound, there are also so many more other stuff. He prefers to work in After Effects. Now, the main difference between After Effects and Adobe Premiere Pro, if you're wondering, is that, Adobe Premiere Pro, it focuses less on effects. It has the basic tools to do some basic effects, but it's more meant for editing and, getting everything together and really work, try to create a smooth video from A to B without the effect-focused aspect. Because if you really want to create special effects, that's when you go to After Effects for the customized transitions, the customized wording with special effects and all this kind of stuff. A lightning strike from the sky. That's really where After Effects start to shine. But After Effects can also do the video editing and stuff like that, what Premiere does. But sometimes it's also a personal preference. But you can also interchange and use both of them at the same time. You can do something in Premiere Pro and then use a dynamic link, and you can also transfer some clips into After Effects and do some special effect with that. that, and then it keeps on going and going. But he prefers to use After Effects. And in After Effects, besides sounds, there's so much more you have to think about. You have to create individual effects. As you can see here, there are tons of layers and effects that you have to keep track of and try to really customize this for your video, for the look and feel. And you gotta think about, hey, is the video shot with a proper color palette? Is the color values correct? You gotta correct it here. You gotta color shade it. And you still gotta tune some clips individually when it comes to color. You gotta think about all the layers and all the effects. Tons of stuff that you have to do, just to create a 1-minute video, which is, you would think that it's a product video. We're not doing anything fancy. We don't even use, lightning and smoke effects for our product videos because, we're trying to keep it real, trying to keep it practical, also for you guys, because it's not a 3D movie. Okay, but
Arnab is asking, by the way, which camera do you use for the product videos?
No,
you know more of cameras than I do. Which one do we
we actually use the Lumix GH5. So that one, if you're more into video recording, the Lumix GH series are wonderful options. They are less desired by the community, I will say, for photography. Of course, you can do photography with it, but it's really more tailored for video recordings. So that's what we're using, Lumix GH5. Actually, that's also the camera that we're using right now for the live stream, for the main camera that you're seeing me through right now. It's a great camera.
But in your spare time, you do mostly photography, right?
Yes. Sometimes I get into videography, but I'm really the photographer, not the videographer.
And what do you use yourself for
At
camera?
home, I use a Sony A7 Mark III. Really love the little gem. And that camera is actually great for photography, but also for videography. So if you're interested, you can definitely check out the Sony A7 series as well.
Like before Corona happened, so then we could still travel. When I went on business trips with Jan, he has 2 bags. One is a very small bag, that's with all the stuff that he needs, clothing, stuff for work. And then he has one very big bag with a lot of camera stuff in there and a tripod and I don't know what. But
the worst part is that the lenses, they are the most pain in the ass. The camera body, it's especially if you go mirrorless, it's small, it's light, it's compact.
It's always funny to see you travel.
The lens. they really kill your back and your shoulder. Okay, questions in the chat. Okay, I'm going to leave that to Michiel. But
Victor says that's so expensive, right? The lenses, yeah, I believe.
Yeah.
That's the most expensive
if you really want to have a good lens, even though your camera is like 2,000-3,000 euros, your lens can still be more expensive than that. That's just how that world works. And we here complain about the RTX cards being expensive. Well, GPU in general, lenses, even more pain in the ass.
Sorry, it's so your new haircut?
Yes.
Any things? You know what? This is better than the last one, curly 70s pop singer style.
Yeah, I travel back to the present day again. I just went back to the
Back to the future.
80s a little while just to visit, but I'm back in the present day. Okay, so continuing. There are when you're thinking about coloring, color grading, audio, you gotta also make sure that your video is properly encoded. You gotta go through an encoding process, and then it starts the real fun. You gotta tune and fine tune and customize and make sure to puzzle around with all the clips that you filmed. And so before you know it, even for a 1-minute video, you will have tons of layers available to you that you will have to individually also put on some effects, and really not that easy. So especially in this kind of cases, and if you're working with high resolution, if you're a 1080p guy, that's no problem. You will have a wonderful time with the P50. But even if you're working on 4K, that's your resolution. That's fine, because the P50 can also handle 4K as well. And especially in this kind of workloads, you really want to make sure that your machine is reactive. You have some real-time reactive responses from your machine when you're trying to edit some clips. You're trying to preview the effects. You don't want to have a machine that's going to be sluggish and that's going to really give you the stuttering effect, because your software is taking up so much hardware capabilities and the room that it's just hard for your hardware to keep up, for your desktop to keep up. So it's important that you really try to do your homework and make sure you know what you use. You make sure that you know what your app requires from your hardware, because it's just like games. You got to make sure that if you want to have a fluent gaming experience, you got to make sure that your hardware can handle the FPS. It can squeeze out the FPS, right? So it's the same principle here with hardware. Here you have to think about, does it fit the softwares that you use? Is Adobe Premiere? Are you using Cinema 4D? Are you using After Effects? Are you a Blender guy? You got to make sure that your hardware fits your workflow. That's what I'm trying to say here. Yeah, so that was the last slide, and after this we are going to show you some live demonstrations. How can you change the RGB? Where is the RGB? What kind of effects do you have? How about sound tune and stuff like that. But yeah, if you guys got any questions regarding what I just showed you, just drop them in chat and I'll happily get back to it if I don't miss it and Michiel doesn't miss it either.
Catharsis is saying, also will be interesting to see a white trident. Actually, we had a white trident in the past, the Trident 3. We had the Arctic
we still
version.
have it.
Yeah, still
in the 11th gen we still have the white version, the Arctic version.
Cool.
So let me just plug in all the peripherals and power, so then we can get on with the demonstrations.
Arnab's asking, how many fans does Creator P50 have?
Fans? Well, do you mean like the case fans, or including just like every fan in there?
Later on we will open it up.
Yeah, you see for yourself. Oh, the cables are a little bit tangled. There we go. Okay. Just a few more cables to go.
Arnav says case fans.
Well, for case fans, actually, the GPU doesn't make it's being cooled very properly with the custom air cooling that we have in the case, and the GPU is in its own chamber, which is separated from the CPU, and it has its own direct air intake and outtake. So yeah, we actually didn't have to use any case fans in this case, because the airflow here is already with our separate airflow, which is very similar to our silent store cooling. Yeah, really airflow here, absolutely no problem. So we didn't have to give you extra noise when it comes to fans. Okay, I think I have all the cables.
Freud
right?
says, hey Mike, can you please let Peter know that I
sure.
sold my inferior 3080 and I'm getting a 3080 Supreme X. I will personally notify him about this. I'm sure he will be very happy. Wait, let me quickly make a screenshot of your message.
Michiel is not messing around.
No, I will make sure that Peter knows about this. There we go.
Alrighty, system starting up.
I don't have any signal yet. Did you plug in the HDMI as well?
Yeah, but it's
Still booting?
I think still booting. So yeah, just past the booting screen.
Yeah, there we go.
Now you should have
Yep.
signal. All right. I think a lot of you guys are familiar with our Dragon Center or MSI Center, because Dragon Center is more for our gaming desktop lineup, but we also have the same kind of software in which we have put everything together for you guys for our creator lineups, which is the MSI Center. Well, actually, sorry, the Creator Center. And now we have fused everything and really have come up with one single software, which is MSI Center. Now, in MSI Center is really where you tailor-make your desktop, where you customize it, where you keep track of your stats, where you kind of, I will show you what else you can do, because this is MSI Center, and right here, like the home page, let's just call it home page. The starting page, you see it's monitor. So here it will monitor your main stats for your CPU and GPU, including temperature. And then if you go to features, there are going to be tons of more other apps or options that are going to pop up. And depending on what you have installed, which you do via this feature set, well, whatever you have installed will pop up here with the feature. So here you have, for example, here the installed category, and then you have installable items. So there's still others that you can install for yourself, and if you don't like some of them, well, you don't have to install them. So you can keep it well, nice and clean for yourself. Okay, so with MSI Center, we, well, especially for our creator lineups, we make sure that there is the priority mode in which we will give you, let's say, the flexibility to prioritize some apps over the other. For example, if you're using Adobe Premiere Pro, we will make sure that you have the option to have Adobe Premiere Pro have the highest priority in your entire system during its workload. So how you do this is that you can choose here to have, like, for example, user priority. So here you can drag, well, right now here we don't have the Adobe programs installed, so I can drag them here, but if you have them installed, you can drag the programs here. Yeah, the first place will get the highest priority. So if you put Premiere Pro in the first place, the program will make sure that Adobe Premiere Pro will get all the resources where possible. So that program specifically will have the highest priority. So yeah, this will also in turn, give you the little boost in performance. So it's there. It's there for free. It's here for your convenience. You don't have to use it, but why not? It's like free FPS, but then free content creation experience.
Conrab's asking, does MSI Center have a dark theme?
Yes, we do. If you go to settings, here you have light mode and dark mode. Voila. So I know just for this demonstration purpose, maybe I'll just stick to dark since the background is also light, so you see stuff better. Yeah, so that's our priority. A smart priority. And if you don't want to prioritize some apps, you just want to make sure that whatever you're using is always having a real-time responsiveness, because that one has the highest priority. You can choose real-time.
Chat noticed my drink. We're not sponsored by Coca-Cola, by the way. So Pepsi next time.
Maybe Cristiano. He said he said a really good example. Put away the Cokes, drink water, kids. Yeah.
There, according to my can, there is a lot of water in my Coke. So essentially, I'm drinking water. This is not health advice, by the way.
If you look at it that way, I guess technically, yes, that's true.
There's also a lot of water in my beer, so that's healthy as well, right?
Yep. Yeah, so that's our smart priority, in which the AI really looks around for, to serve you the best. As you can see, we have tons of apps that are supported here, from Magix to Adobe to Corel, 3D Max, you name it. Your software is probably going to be in there. Then because we have people asking about Mystic Light, how do you do it? Well, here if you go to features, click on Mystic Light, and yeah, actually that's pretty much it. Here you can choose the effects after you have chosen some. Let me show you in like in combination with the detailed camera. Whoop. So if I right now get the light, okay, this way, okay, now you see it better. So right now it's on rainbow. If you don't like rainbow, because screw rainbow, that's why, you know, you go to breathing. Here you can yeah, go for breathing. It basically just transforms like right away. If you're a very random guy, you can also put this random. It will just do whatever it does. There's no logic, and yeah, if that's your stuff, go for it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, now it's green, so that's why it looks like black, because of the green screen keying stuff, because the background here is also not real, as you might have noticed. Yeah, but that's pretty much how you change the effects. Very simple. So now we just get back to rainbow, because I'm very basic guy. Thank you, Michiel, for darkening the room, so you guys can see the RGB effects better. Yeah, so if we go back to the capture here.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. Yeah, you can also create your own profile. So if you don't want to switch around every time, you know, you can create profile 1 to always be rainbow, profile 2 always to be random, and 3, you name it. That's how you do it. And yeah, there are of course also other apps. You know, you can make an image, a system recovery with MSI Center. Here you can try to make sure that your internet connection traffic has the priority the way you want it. So some apps will have priority over the other. So this is where you have to be LAN manager. You know, I definitely recommend this also when you're like making backups and stuff like that. So, you know, huge files to your NAS. You know, here you can make sure that that specific transfer over the LAN has the priority. So, you know, there's less disturbance, you know, more consistency. Yeah. So if you want other apps, like I said before, just go to feature sets, and here you can check out what other apps there are that you can still use. Otherwise, this is also the app that will keep everything up to date, of course. So support, you can go to live update and do system updates. And it's easy as that. And really, that's all there is to it. So we really try to make the yeah, user interface as easy and self-explanatory as much as we could.
Glitch is asking, can RGB increase its performance? Of course.
Duh. It's like the same with games, right?
It's RGB. It's like
FPS.
Yeah.
Come on.
Performance like triples when switching off.
Like,
switching
come on,
on RGB.
this should be like common sense nowadays. Even the same case as, you know, when you have a gaming chair, you also game better. You know, you pop up headshots.
When you have like a
360s.
10-year-old PC, you add RGB and it's like faster than today's PCs. The ones without RGB, of course.
Okay, so now I'm going to run some real-life tests with Cinebench, the R23 version. And while I'm doing so, let me make this a little bit smaller. Well, actually,
So basically what Cinebench does is quite a heavy 3D render.
Doesn't go smaller than this. Well, basically this one will put your CPU at max loads. Here I have used hardware info to show you guys you know, what the CPU power right now is and the temperature. In a moment you will see that it's going to, well, I wouldn't say skyrocket, but it's going to consistently get to a higher level because it's under max load. So let's first start with the multi-core benchmark. Okay, you see it's already jumping up. So if you guys are not familiar with the CPU that's in here, which is the 11700, it has 8 cores and 16 threads. So the 16 threads here especially is going to be very, very helpful when you're doing productivity work, because here you really make use of the threads. So unlike by gaming, you know, the cores and the extra threads, you know, beats higher than 4, like 6, it's not going to be utilized. But here, they will be. You see, like the temperature had a brief spike because, you know, the CPU fan had to spin harder to, you know, combat the higher temperature. So once it got to the proper speed,
and in the beginning you also have the short duration power limit, and then it goes over in the long duration power limit. So when you take a look at the package power, you see like it spikes a little bit. That's the short duration power limit, and then it goes down again to the long duration power limit, which is 65 watts in this case. And then you see it will steady maintain that 65 watt power limit. So you also see the temperatures staying steady. Anab says, can it run CSGO?
It will run CSGO from here to Tokyo. I'm trying to say, you know, you'll get like very high FPS because it's
hundreds
still
of
11700 in here. So yeah, you have absolutely no compromise with CSGO. So you're gonna get hundreds and hundreds of FPS. Actually, that's the same case with any competitive games that you still want to play on the P50, you know, right after you want to relax. You know, you have done 4 hours of work for your client, you know, your new Fido project was going really well, you're going to take a break.
Even AAA titles
are... Absolutely no problem, because there is a 11700 in here with a 3060, RTX 3060. So as you can imagine, you know, with this kind of combination with AAA title games also, you have no problem. So with the multi-core, we scored, well, actually above 9000.
GlitchEye says, which RGB color is good for high FPS gaming? Well, the best way to see that it's RGB is by putting on the rainbow.
Yeah.
So that will definitely give you the highest FPS.
Okay, so that's one multi-core. Now let's go to single core. So again, you see the temperature, you know, it got back to its normal level, and now it's being pushed back again. Same with the power usage.
So here you see that the power consumption is a bit lower. That of course has to do with the fact that right now you're not stressing all the cores.
If you guys are wondering what kind of software it is, here that we're showing, showing the numbers with, it's hardware info. So you can just Google this and download yourself, so you can really get to know your system, because
a lot of information,
in there, as you can see here. And I just picked out like 2 characteristics out of the thousands here regarding your network, every piece of hardware in your basically your PC.
So this of course takes a bit longer because it's only utilizing a single core to render everything. That's also why you see a single block being rendered, whereas when you switch on the multi-core, you get it for every thread. So you will see 16 blocks simultaneously because you have 8 cores with hyper-threading and 16 threads.
So
Mark is asking, how much is your current room temperature, just to see the difference with the CPU temperature?
Since 23?
23 degrees Celsius, yeah. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but I'm sure the internet can tell me that.
Okay guys, let's do a little game. Let's guess the
It's 73.4 degrees Fahrenheit.
People here, press 1 if you are like a Celsius guy, and press 2 if you're a Fahrenheit guy. I'm really wondering what kind of demographics we have in front of us right now.
And I think some people use Fahrenheit for the temperature outside and Celsius for the temperature in their computer. I've also seen that.
2 for Fahrenheit and 1 for Celsius. Come on guys. We have time to kill, so let's go.
Twitch is faster. YouTube has more of a delay, it seems.
Yeah, okay. More Celsius coming in. Okay, Ian's being a smartass. He's using Kelvin.
More Celsius, Fahrenheit, Celsius, Celsius,
Celsius. Really starting to kill it.
Celsius.
YouTube is coming in the box. And while we're at it, let's get the score of the single core performance. And the one that gets the correct, exact score will get a P50 for free. I'm just kidding. Eric would probably fire me if I did that.
Yeah, mostly Celsius.
But we can still guess. Let's go for honor and recognition and a shout out. No, Mr. Master Dogs, we're not gonna play the metrics game because we know the story, of course. Celsius makes sense for us, yes, but to others, Fahrenheit makes sense. But it would be nice if the whole world was like using the same metric, right? That would be great.
I think the metric system is a little bit easier to calculate with. Also distances.
Oh,
miles are complicated.
Guess it's now about 50% done. Come on, guys, we gotta guess the score. See, Mr. Mustox is trying to drive away our viewers. He's doing a social experiment.
Bullying our American viewers away.
Yes.
Be kind to our American viewers, Mr. Mastodon.
I was saying 969. We really like 69. Very specific. Well, Troy knows you have a old setup. Well, you should tell them about your recent upgrade.
Yeah, I actually upgraded last week, so I don't have my ancient PC anymore.
Yeah, was a long time coming.
Yeah, I was getting tired of my 6600K Core i5. So I upgraded to the MPG B550i Gaming Edge Wi-Fi and the Ryzen 5 5600X. And I'm actually liquid cooling it in my tiny case with a 92mm radiator. Yeah, you heard that correct, 92mm.
Insomniac saying, will it run Microsoft Flight Simulator at 4K? Of course it will, but at what FPS? That I'm not gonna tell. Yeah, it's true. 4K is kind of like the thing right now at this moment, huh? In this day and age, I still have to shift to 1440p, so I guess I'm also running an ancient system.
Mr. Masterlock says, about time, Mike being the only one who games the most out of you guys. I'm not sure if I game the most, but for sure I have more time than Eric and Peter, for example. They have kids, that doesn't help.
It really doesn't. It also helps that you have a good girlfriend because she also games.
Yeah, we play multiplayer games together. But she never wants to play Quake against me, that's a pity.
Lucas, yes, 1080p still works for me as well.
Anna says, Mike got some unique radiators. Yeah, my case is too big for a 120mm radiator because I'm using a 7-liter computer case. So I don't have space for 120mm. So 92 is the most I can fit in there.
Yeah, that is true. If you have more kids, you need more systems.
So you can have like your family LAN party.
That would be awesome if you can play like competitive games or multiplayer games with your kids. That would be great.
But now for Eric it's getting complicated because his kids are reaching the age where they can beat him.
Okay, I guess we're almost done with the single core test, but before that, maybe let's see who the second winner is.
Ooh.
Since we're killing time anyways.
That's a good idea.
Nah, Arnab, don't try to snitch me up. I'm not sad.
But do you ever play multiplayer games with your girlfriend?
The only multiplayer game that I play with her is in my mind. That's her utmost contribution to gaming.
We have our next winner. Artemis 2012, congratulations. You also won a $20 US Steam wallet code.
All right,
If you haven't participated yet, go to msi.com/2/insider, or if you're watching on YouTube or Twitch, follow the direct link to Gleam in the chat. So congratulations, Artemis. I hope you will get something nice with it. Please keep an eye out on your mailbox because we will email the code to you in the coming days.
All right, enjoy, man. And just a little side note, like a little trivia. Here you see this visual that's being rendered. It's actually not a real scene. It's made by Render Baron. He's a German 3D artist. He created this scenario. He made it himself. And interestingly, we had him in January in our live stream, which was in cooperation with Intel. And he joined our live stream as a guest and did a full-blown, how do you create this? How do you create a realistic 3D apple and this kind of scenes and moving scenarios? It was like an eye-opener. Great stuff. Yes, we are done. Seems like a lot of you guys were off by like more than 50%. Wow,
I see.
Really
that's
disappointed.
because you were giving away the P50 to the person that had the exact number, right?
Mm-hmm.
I see a guy in chat. He's called Mike, and he had the exact right number.
Really? Why don't I see Mike?
He will pick it
calling
up
the
after the
exact
stream,
number?
okay?
I have a feeling you're just going to steal an organ of it. But yeah, the single core performance is almost
I might drag that
1500.
graphics card out.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess I did see somebody in the chat saying it was going to get like about 1500. So I'm not sure if you cheated or if you're just really good with guessing, but yeah.
Close one.
It took some time, but excellent score for this kind of CPU and a small form factor desktop.
Inferno said, I bet Eric wants to play Quake again. I'm not sure about that.
Okay, now it is time to see.
Mr. Masterdog says Mike is unhappy with his own upgrade. No, I'm really happy with the Ryzen 5. It's just I still got an old graphics card, still running 1070. So I might take that 3060 out of Jazz system. Because that one will actually fit my computer.
Let's just say if I go to the bathroom in a moment after the live stream
and the graphics card is
GPU is gone, I will be scratching my head, wondering where it went. So let's see what this puppy looks like from the inside. Oh. Let me fix the screen.
Oh, Mr. Masterdog's actually running the same setup now. 5600X with the 1070.
Now, if you have paid attention during the PPT, you would have noticed that you can use this one standing or like a console. Yes, I've said it, like a console, but then 100 million times more powerful.
Aren't most consoles vertically nowadays?
Well, you can still use them both ways, like this or vertically.
We can put it like underneath the television.
All right, so to open this one up, the first step is going to be you will softly place your fingers or your nail underneath the, let's say, this is the lower part, the bottom. Once there's a little bit room, you can just wiggle it open. From here on, it's simply unscrew every little screw that you see. One, two, 3.
Tom3D2 says no CD-ROM. Like if you have an optical drive in this, it's like half the volume of the system.
What century is this?
You can still use an optical drive as a cup holder.
I actually never thought about it that way, but that's pretty genius.
You didn't?
It's like in the car.
I did that a lot at LAN parties. I just used it as a cup holder.
Wow. Somebody was already living in 2030. Okay, I think I've got every screw. Yes, I do.
Inferno won a code for Watch Dogs Legion last time, so he's already been playing it on a
Case bending.
1060. So how did it run? Because 1060 is, well, it's not the latest card anymore. I'm wondering if it still ran fine, like if you turn down your settings a little bit.
So here we have one of the side panels. On the other side, you see there's like a metal protection layer, really sturdy, and the breathing room for the GPU is also well, dust filtered. So every once in a while you gotta take this off and, you know, blow off all the dust. Let's put this here. That's the inside. Very packed, but as you can see, all the room is being properly used. And the CPU and the GPU are being separated into 2 different chambers. So each one also has its own air intake and outtake, without really have to bother with each other's heat. Now, let me switch it up from camera position. Yes, Mike. I think you have to relink it. There we go.
Yeah, there we go. Don't turn us upside down too much, then we get sick.
Okay, let me put this a little bit higher. Now here we have the almighty RTX 3060, which is our Aero RTX, our ITX version. Still a little bit of room left, so yeah, if you want to upgrade a GPU, it's pretty simple. You have to unscrew the brackets, open it up, and then all you have to do is just take it off. That's it. So in the future, if you feel like you need a more powerful GPU, that's all you have to do to exchange your GPU. And yes, of course, it goes without saying, you gotta unplug the power connector. So, right? But yeah, you know that, you'll see that. But
and keep in mind that if you upgrade it, that it's if it's a faster one, it is also a more efficient one. Like in the future, maybe, of course, graphics cards get more efficient. But don't put, for example, a 250 watt TDP graphics card in there, because it comes with a 330 watt power supply. So make sure it doesn't consume more power than this one does, for example. So keep that in mind.
Okay, so then moving on to the next chamber, which is here. Here we have the SODs. So, here. So if you want to replace these two, right now you have 32 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM at 3200 megahertz of speed. Now, if you decide to exchange these two, that's also possible. It's even easier. And really make sure that, you know, it's not being covered by cables and stuff like that. Really try to neatly put everything away so it's still attractive to upgrade for you if you choose to later. So yeah, just take them out and then swap in your brand new ones. So it can go all the way up to 64 gigabytes. and voila, you're done. And we heard somebody asking about Wi-Fi earlier. It's indeed integrated, so we don't have like antennas and stuff sticking out. And here we have the chip for it. What else is here? Well, I don't think I have to tell you guys what this is, right? Because there's only one main component left. This is our custom air cooler for the CPU, which is the 11700 right now sitting underneath here. And this
it's quite a special cooler.
Also see the, well, I'm not sure if you guys can see it clearly, but this white surface area right here is the heatsink, the block, which makes direct contact with the CPU. And the heat pipes are coming out of there to the fins, and this is of course a blower type of CPU cooler, so it will blow the wind towards the fins here, and then the hot air will come out of the backside. Oh, here. See, here's the fin of the CPU cooler, and here is the air
Darth
outtake.
Details on Twitch chat is asking,
The air
where
will
is the
blow.
SSD/storage?
Sorry?
Darth Details is asking Twitch chat, where is
Yep.
the SSD or other storage?
Well, you gotta, well, for that part, the storage is actually on this side. So you have one 2.5-inch SSD. That's the only thing that happens there. And also for the M.2 SSD, we have, so this is a customized ITX motherboard. So on the back side, we also have the M.2 SSD situated. Yeah, so here we, of course, I just explained the CPU fan. So it blows the hot air, well, it blows cool air towards the hot fan, and the hot air will come out here. So hence the blower type. So it doesn't blow it down like the usual air coolers that you're used to in your tower cases. This will blow it to one side. And as you can see, we have the proper heat pipes right here to really make sure, you know, there's enough cooling for the 11700. And during the stress test, you also saw with Cinebench that the GPU, well, it did reach like about 72, but then it was just like a small peak, and then it always got down to 75 to 78-ish temperature at full load.
Insomniac is asking YouTube chat, does it have overclocking in the BIOS? No, it's a B560 chipset, so that doesn't support overclocking for the CPU. It does support faster memory speed, so in this situation it's running DDR4 3200, but there is no CPU overclocking support. Also, CPU is power limited at 65 watts, of course because of the form factor, otherwise you wouldn't be able to cool it anymore. So you don't have any headroom for overclocking anyway. That's always a bit of the trade-off. The smaller you go, the more difficult it becomes to cool your CPU.
Yeah, I guess you know all about it.
Yep. So at a certain point you have to do concessions. Do I want to go for the fastest possible CPU, and do I want to overclock it? If yes, then you will need a bigger form factor.
So this was the heatsink block that I just talked about. This makes direct contact with the CPU, which is of course right underneath here. You can see the bracket closing pin.
So two thick heat pipes in the middle and two thinner ones on the outside.
Yep. And the blower will blow the air right into the fins here. So this is how the customized air cooler here looks like for the P50. So if you decide to exchange your CPU, of course, where possible, you will see that, you know, it's just quite a few steps. Well, actually just a few steps, not quite a few steps. You just got to take out some screws, and then you'll pretty much have, yeah, free roam to take out the heat pipes and the heat sink. And that's pretty much all there is to it. Now let me put this back together and still make sure it works. It's a little bit difficult when you do this by one hand.
I can switch to the other camera then. Here, now you have two hands.
Let's go. Okay, make sure I don't forget any screws.
Don't lose them.
Sometimes when you like doing some DIY stuff with your PC, and then once you have finished, and you'll be like, ha, I did a good job, everything is working, and I put everything back together, and then suddenly you see like 2 little screws laying around, and you'll be wondering, where the heck did I forget 2 screws? That's like, for me personally, one of the most frustrating parts, possible.
I always have a problem with IKEA furniture.
Oh yes.
Then I put it together, and then I got a couple of screws left. And then you know you screwed up.
Yeah, because you definitely are not going to unscrew the whole thing just to find out where did I leave out 2 screws.
Yeah, for example, if you have a cabinet or anything, you usually find out when you put it full of stuff, you find out where you should have put the screws.
So yeah, very compact, and as you can see, that's why it doesn't fit a PSU in here, because all the space is already occupied to make sure that you have, well, the most compact possible case where you still can pack, a power of the RTX 3060 and still have the proper cooling. Time to close it up.
See, some people are talking about possibilities with AMD. Right now it's only available with Intel, but never say never. Of course, has to do with multiple factors. Availability is, for example, a big thing in there as well. But yeah, we do have a couple of desktops that are AMD based, but they're only available in limited regions at this point. But that doesn't mean that you won't see more of them in the future.
Okay, I'm just putting the screws back at the bottom where I started off with.
It's Gamer Jax asking, does anyone know if AMD GPUs are any good? I would say yes. The 6000 series are. Availability is of course a problem, but that's also a problem with the RTX 30 series at the moment. There is more demand than supply, so there's shortage. But yeah, I definitely think the RX 6000 series are good GPUs.
No, the way around. That's it.
Glitch is asking, how much VRAM does the graphics card have? It's 12 gigabytes. Now, Rhino Blast is saying that middle piece of plastic is separating the heat from the GPU and the CPU. That's correct. There are 2 different chambers,
Yeah,
so
because
the
it
heat from
separates
one,
the,
from one component
entire
cannot
length.
reach the other one.
Okay, well, let me just get the beautiful RGB back on, and we're good to go.
It's Gamer Jax asking, do you know any AMD GPUs that can beat RTX 2080 in performance? It depends a bit on what kind of performance. NVIDIA is usually still a bit stronger in ray tracing, for example, but purely in pure GPU performance, the higher end RX 6000 series are, of course, it's a newer generation, and they compete with the higher end RTX 30 series. So they're definitely both the higher end RTX 30 series and the higher end RX 6000 series are a bit faster than the RTX 2080.
Okay.
So cards like the 6900 XT, 6800 XT, 6800, but also RTX 3090, RTX 3080 Ti, RTX 3080.
All right, Mike.
Yes.
Okay, any questions that I missed? Otherwise, I'm just gonna show you guys what we have been doing with content creation, because it's not just creating desktops and monitors, because like this one, for example, sitting in front of me is our the latest edition in our content creation monitors. That's why you also see this black hood right here. Really, with a professional grade one, you always need this kind of hood to really make sure you black out all the light spillage, and also have the most, let's say, concentrated value of what you're really seeing. So there's no disturbance from other light sources around you. So since you are concentrating on your content creation, your video project, you have, for example, clients, or you're just doing this for other people, for yourself, doesn't matter. Something else that's important, it's also know how to pick out your monitor. Now, I did a dedicated live stream about this. If you're interested, you can look it up on our YouTube channel. If you just go to MSI Gaming and then type in PS321, you will find a live stream where I detailed both models. So that's also very important. Now, we have done more than just hardware, because we're actually really passionate about this kind of stuff. That's also why we also try to design our products also in such a way. It's really the journey that's very meaningful, and that's why we have been quite busy with Creator Awards, MSI Creator Awards. We actually already have we shortly just finished with our second edition. So the first one was really popular. We had tons of inquiries and people participating from all over the world when it comes to 2D, 3D and stuff like that. So we had a second round for this. And this, if you're interested, was the landing page for it. So let me show you, what kind of stuff we were busy with and how we put this all together, what can you expect for the next round, maybe if you missed this one. So perhaps you already know about this, but perhaps you even participated. I hope you did, because it's really fun. I wish I was good enough to participate as well, and maybe next time. But this is the page for it. So MSI Creator Awards 2021. So like I said, this is already the second edition, and the topic here was tech meets aesthetics. And if you remember, we also had a online event where the title was tech meets aesthetics. But this is the Creator Awards dedicated to that topic. So here, for example, in just a moment, I'll show you the video that we created with a lot of the inspiring and really original and creative projects that people have sent it in, and that were nominated. And eventually you will also see in that video who won, what did they win. And here on the landing page you will also see what kind of categories were there that you can send your work into. We had graphic design, 3D creation, and also film. So somewhere must be your strong point in there. So there are a lot of aspects for you to explore, for you to participate, and really try to win some great stuff. So yeah, like I said, this one we just finished with this because in June we announced the winners. But just trying to show you guys what this event was like and what did we do. We had dedicated professional jury that were trying to evaluate the work. So it wasn't just us being okay, I like that one, you win. It's really being professionally judged for different categories. And here, for example, with film and Jordi van de Put, we actually had him in our live stream as well, where we had him as a dedicated guest, to do some fun interview with, also for him to show his work to you guys, to the audience, and also explain how he does some stuff, and what kind of time goes in these kind of projects, how he started his company, just really cool, because you guys could also ask him questions, and we usually try to get this stuff done. So maybe next time we'll have a great cast as well again. But here, for example, you will see what kind of prices there were. So you know, it's really there was quite the incentive for people to participate, because it wasn't just some vouchers, but it's really some really great hardware. Like for example, for best graphics design, you could win the laptop with the latest Intel CPU and GPU, latest CPU and GPU. And then with the best concept here, you see you'll get a PS341WU. Then for best visual, something that everybody, I guess, will drool over quite a bit, because you know, even if you want to buy it nowadays, unfortunately, it's a bit difficult. So there are quite a few stuff, and this was only for graphic design, right? And there's even more for 3D creation. You can win one of the P100 series, more GPU, more laptop for film, more laptop, more P100, more GPU, and there was even a special prize, which is a P100X 10. So P100X was really our highest tier game, creator desktop with the highest specifications. And yeah, so as you can see, we had quite the prize bundles lineup to distribute to the winners. So next time, really make sure, if you're interested, participate, and yeah, who knows, you know, you could win one as well. And that's quite awesome, if you ask me. But yeah, if you're interested, here is the page. So if you just Google like MSI Creator Awards 2021, you will also get there. And yeah, so tons of stuff that are here. What we do is, what we are trying to achieve at least, is trying to get the community going. You know, trying to show that we are really enthusiastic about this kind of stuff. And yeah, we would love to see also, you know, what you guys create, how creative you can get. Yeah, so right now, maybe we're going to draw one more winner, and then after this video, we will draw today's last winner, because this is not a short video, but
we'll also answer some last questions before we start with the video.
Yeah. So let's see.
Mr. Masterdog's actually being sharp today, because he's saying, what are the differences between the Trident 311 except for CPU and the casing? Well, they are kind of close, because they're based on the same platform, but there are some specific choices that were made, for example, in the P50 that make it more suitable for content creation. So this model, for example, has Thunderbolt, whereas the Trident 3 doesn't. This one's also based on the B560 chipset, so for example, supports those higher memory frequencies. So there are minor differences, but they're indeed based on the same platform.
Yeah, so the biggest difference here really is the motherboard, where everything rests, that Michiel just mentioned. But very, very good question. Really kind of shows that you know the products. So
yeah, and sharp to notice that they're indeed similar in many areas. For example, the layout of the case. It, for example, has the angled PCI Express slot for the graphics card. Also the same way it powers the graphics card, etc. It's all based on the same platform, but some choices were made differently to make this one more suitable for content creators, like for example adding Thunderbolt and stuff like that. Let me see, I saw some more questions. Moments to Treasure is asking, how much do you think graphics cards require for editing? It really depends on the software you're using. So make sure to check the requirements of that specific software, because some editing programs, they fully render on the CPU, others render on the GPU. Some can even combine the power of the CPU and the GPU. So if you, for example, have software that fully relies on CPU rendering, then it doesn't make sense to buy a very expensive graphics card, because you will not use it while rendering. Whereas if you have a very GPU intensive editing program, then of course it does make sense to go for a stronger model. So really make sure to check what program am I using, and what way will it render what I'm editing, and that way you can make the best decision for your system. Okay, shall we draw one more winner now?
Let's go.
And then we have the video, and then we will have one last winner for today.
So this video you should see like as a very inspirational. Actually, I went through it, and really there were like some excellent work that I absolutely did not expect from the community. But yeah, tons of people participated in the event, and this is our virtual ceremony in which we, it's like an Oscar. People will mention the nominees, and then eventually we'll announce the winners. And then, well, that's basically the video, like a summary of all the best nominees and who won. So you will see the best work that were selected by the professional judges. So a really nice little movie. All right.
So I have our last, or not last winner, but a last winner before the video, and then after one we'll have one more. So JPSH Racer, congratulations. You also won a $20 Steam wallet code. Keep an eye on your mailbox because we'll email it to you in the coming days. Congratulations. If you still want to win and haven't signed up yet, last chance to go to msi.com/insider or follow the direct link in Twitch or YouTube chat. And then we will have a last winner after the video. Let me see if we have... I had one more thing that I wanted to mention, but I forgot.
I'll give you 5 seconds.
No, I can't come up with it in
All
5
right.
seconds. Maybe I remember during the video, and then I will tell it afterwards.
Okay, so guys, we're still here. We're just going to watch this movie together with you, and afterwards we're going to be back and talk about next week, and also announce today's last winner. So let's enjoy and be inspired.
Okay.
Et si l'on s'entraidait à rêver d'un simple trait qui devient ce que vous... Bon, ok, j'y arrive pas.
Bonjour, je suis Bobby, votre assistant de création. Alors, qu'est-ce qu'on...
C'est...
C'est quoi ça, Patrick? C'est nul! Regarde-moi bien dans l'œil, Patrick. Ouais, j'étais à l'œil, Patrick. Tu es nul, Patrick. Et voilà! Alors, c'est mieux, hein? J'ai pas de bras et je dessine mieux que toi, Patrick. Allez, Patrick, on y va! Bienvenue, voyageurs!
I know we haven't spoken in a while, but really missed you and I wanted to see how you were going.
Do you ever wonder if you have the power to zip through the sky, explore the land and the water? Where could such power be found? Power that is unchained, power without boundaries. In this world, there are only two kinds of people. You think I would say those with power and without power? No, everyone has the power to reach the sky, explore the land and the water. But what limits you is your imagination, your own mind. If you can unleash the beast within you, would you dare to let it out? Being powerful isn't always being big and strong. This is where we break the line between technology and aesthetics.
Don't forget to take your medicines before lunch. Don't forget to check the mailbox Remember to check up with Doc later 3 p.m.
What if I told you that now we may have a lot of great artists, thinker, and dreamer, but what if I told you that there was a time where a lot of great artists didn't know how to realize their ideas, and their ideas are just voiceless. But there's an invention called technology. Technology comes to our life to be a bridge for those people who had a lot of ideas on their mind and trying to realize it into a piece of art. Now, we can create with no limit. And that's why technology meets aesthetic.
Я дихати хотіти. Я
friend, welcome to Arcade. We have many amazing games for you. And yeah, we have a new game here, MSI-RTX 3080, which gives you real-life experience. Here is the RTX 3080, now get in the cabin, it will teleport you.
Mada この世界は僕を飼いならしてたいみたいだ望み通りだろう美しくもがくよ
Hello my friend, welcome to Arcade. We have many amazing games for you. And yeah, we have a new game here, MSI-RTX 3080, which gives you real-life experience.
Wow. So I
Those
hope
were
you
some
guys
impressive
enjoyed that
projects.
one because yeah, as the chat was really clearly agreeing with, the quality was quite high. So you know, now you understand why I didn't participate neither. So it was not easy to do, but yeah, you know, moral of the story is, of course, you know, it's really nice to see how you know, so many people around the world participated in the contest, and you know, of course there were nice prizes as well, but you know, the community came together, and you know, it was all about creating, right? So that's the spirit. And of course, I'm pretty sure we're going to do more like these kind of contests in the future. So I saw a few people saying, I missed it, too bad, but you know, there's gonna be more, I'm sure of it.
If you guys think you can beat this, make sure to give it a go.
You still have time to practice. You know, get a P50 and start video editing. All right, next week, actually, I think we're gonna have a surprise live stream for you.
In the meanwhile, I'm going to drag our last winner.
Yeah.
We promised to have one more.
So We actually we kind of do have like a topic, but we're still deciding if that's going to work out, and if it does, we will dominate with Formula 1 2021 with an awesome triple monitor setup. But if it doesn't work out due to some challenges, it's going to be a surprise. So you have to join next week.
Then we'll figure something else out. But for sure, we will be here next week again, same place, same time. And I have our last winner for today.
All right, let's go.
Congratulations, Toto, like T0T0. You also won a $20 Steam wallet code. Please keep an eye out on your mailbox. Then we will email it to you in the coming days. If you didn't win today, don't worry. Next week, we will, of course, have another giveaway. We will be here again on the same channel, same time, so make sure to join. We don't know 100% sure yet what we're going to do, but hopefully F1 2021 will be cool. And otherwise, we'll make sure to come up with something else. And of course, it will be cool. I can promise you that. So thanks for joining, everyone.
All right, guys.
And see you again next week. Goodbye.